In the modern world, where the pace of life constantly accelerates and our days are filled with a continuous stream of notifications and concerns, finding true peace becomes a rare and precious discovery. Many seek solace in places that offer no genuine relief, in sleeping aids, long hours spent in front of screens, or fleeting amusements. However, an ancient wisdom, rediscovered and emphasized by Pope Leo XIV, reminds us of 3 simple yet powerful practices that guide us toward God before sleep. These practices require neither complex training nor special conditions, only an open heart and a few minutes of personal time. How a day concludes largely determines the beginning of the next, as the Pope noted in one of his memorable general audience addresses. In this simple observation lies a profound truth. The thoughts a person falls asleep with continue to work in the subconscious during sleep. The benefits of these 3 practices extend far beyond the spiritual realm. Recent research indicates that the conscious cultivation of specific states of mind before sleep significantly improves rest quality, reduces stress levels, and contributes to overall mental health. The appeal of these practices lies in their accessibility. They require no elaborate rituals or deep theological knowledge. They are open to everyone, young and old, busy and those with free time, those long steadfast in their beliefs, and those just beginning their spiritual journey. Pope Leo XIII's message gains particular significance from his insistence, urging action before it's too late. This is not a warning, but rather a loving invitation not to postpone what can bring immediate peace and harmony into one's life. The phrase, "before it's too late," serves as a reminder that each day is a unique opportunity that will not recur. These 3 practices form a kind of triangle, reliably supporting the soul throughout the night. One looks to the past with gratitude, another examines the present with honesty, and the third looks to the future with hope. Together, they create a sacred space where true rest and rejuvenation become possible. Thousands of people who have incorporated these practices into their evening routine report significant changes in their daily lives, greater clarity of mind, more harmonious relationships, and an overall sense of well-being that persists even in challenging times. Let us delve into each of these 3 practices that Pope Leo XIII so strongly recommends and discover how they can transform our nights and, consequently, our days. The first practice is gratitude. Pope Leo XIII suggests cultivating a sense of gratitude before sleep, emphasizing that thanksgiving is like opening a door through which God enters with his blessings. This seemingly simple practice possesses an astonishing power to transform one's perception of the world. Gratitude is not merely a formal utterance of thank you. It is a state of soul that acknowledges the gifts received throughout the day. When a person gives thanks consciously, the brain releases neurotransmitters associated with well-being and happiness. It is a natural medicine for the soul. This practice involves 3 key aspects to consider each night. First, give thanks for obvious blessings. These are the gifts easily noticed: a loving family, a roof over one's head, a job that provides a livelihood, food on the table, good health. These gifts are so customary that they are often taken for granted, yet each is uniquely valuable. Second, give thanks for difficulties encountered. This aspect may seem challenging, but it is no less important. Every obstacle faced during the day contains a lesson. Every problem an opportunity for personal growth. Giving thanks for these difficult moments allows them to be transformed into stepping stones toward a better version of oneself. Third, give thanks in advance for what is yet to come. This aspect fosters hope and confidence. It is unknown what tomorrow will bring, but one can give thanks in advance for the strength that will help overcome any challenges. As a practical tip, it is recommended to find 3 specific reasons for gratitude each night. These can be significant events or minor details: a smile received, a successfully completed task, a moment of contemplating nature's beauty. The main thing is to be specific and feel a genuine emotional connection to what one is grateful for. Doña Carmen, a 92-year-old woman, shares her experience. I've been writing down 3 reasons for gratitude every night for over 50 years. I have entire notebooks filled with blessings. In the hardest times, I reread them and remember that life has always been generous to me. This practice resonates with the teachings of Saint Teresa of Avila, who affirmed that a heart filled with gratitude is always surrounded by blessings. Gratitude is not merely a religious act. It is a way of existing in the world that transforms reality from within. Modern science confirms what spiritual wisdom has taught for centuries. Gratitude reduces stress levels, improves sleep quality, and strengthens the immune system. It is a medicine without side effects, available to everyone before sleep. The second virtue recommended by Pope Leo XIV before going to sleep is forgiveness. The wise pontiff declared, "He who sinks into the embrace of Morpheus with resentment in his heart finds not one pillow, but 2, one beneath his head and the other, far heavier, upon his soul." Forgiveness, like a magic key, unlocks the door to genuine rest. It is no wonder our grandmothers advised us not to go to bed with anger in our hearts. And it turns out they were absolutely right. Modern scientific research confirms that negative thoughts, especially those associated with resentment and malice, significantly impair sleep quality and have a detrimental effect on our physical and mental health. Forgiveness, practiced before sleep, has a beneficial impact on 3 crucial levels, which should be practiced nightly. First, it is necessary to honestly acknowledge one's own transgressions. This is not about self-flagellation or sinking into paralyzing guilt, but about an honest and unbiased look at one's actions during the day. Did we hurt anyone with a careless word? Did we ignore a need we could have met? Did we show impatience or injustice? Such acknowledgement becomes the first step on the path to true transformation. Second, one should ask for forgiveness with a sincere and humble heart. This act connects us with our essential humility. We can offer this plea directly to God, while promising to seek reconciliation with affected individuals when possible. The words can be simple and unpretentious. Forgive me for this specific mistake. Help me correct it and not repeat it. The third level, often forgotten but no less important, is self-forgiveness. People are often much harsher on themselves than on others. Such self-forgiveness is not an excuse for mistakes, but an acknowledgement of our human nature in the process of continuous growth and improvement, which is necessary for effective nightly forgiveness practice. Pope Leo XIII suggests a calm and unhurried review of the past day, as if gently turning the pages of a photo album without harsh judgments, but with a sincere desire for improvement. This review should by no means turn into a torturous interrogation, but rather resemble a friendly conversation with the Almighty. This advice directly echoes biblical wisdom, which warns us, do not let the sun go down on your anger. Each night offers us the opportunity to free our hearts from unnecessary burdens, which, if kept, will inevitably affect not only our rest, but also our conscience throughout the coming day. The effect of nightly forgiveness is truly astonishing. Those who practice this virtue note that their sleep becomes deeper and calmer, their awakening more serene, and they greet the new day with renewed energy. As Martin, a father, admits, since I started practicing forgiveness every night, my relationships with my loved ones have significantly improved. Every morning, I feel like I get a chance to start fresh. The third virtue that Pope Leo XIII recommends to us before sleep is trust. Entrusting your worries to God before sleep does not mean abandoning them. Rather, it means placing them in the safest hands, he teaches with unwavering faith. Such confident surrender transforms our anxious nights into spaces of renewal and rejuvenation. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, we accumulate worries, as if gathering stones during a long and tiring journey. And if we do not release them at the end of the day, we will inevitably carry them with us to bed, where they will become an unbearable burden, preventing restful sleep. The practice of trust teaches us to empty this bag of stones each night. This practice can be developed by following a simple yet deeply effective method. First, it is necessary to identify the three main concerns that occupy our minds and disturb our peace. These can be situations related to work, family, finances, or personal experiences that, we understand, require resolution, but which, frankly, we are unable to resolve while we sleep. Second, for each of these concerns, we make a conscious declaration of surrender. This situation I give into your hands, Lord. I believe that while I rest, you continue to work tirelessly on its resolution. This declaration is not a magic spell, but a deliberate act of faith that frees our minds from the burden of what we cannot control. Third, we can complement this act of surrender with a simple visualization. We imagine each concern as a concrete object that we place in a box or basket, which we then give into the hands of the Lord. This mental image helps our brain process the feeling of liberation and relief. Rosa, a single mother who works 2 jobs to support her children, shares her experience. Before, I couldn't close my eyes, thinking about bills, my children's school problems, 1,000 other things. Since I started practicing confident surrender of worries, I sleep like a log and wake up with a clear head, ready to face whatever the new day brings. It is important to understand that this practice of trust has a beneficial effect on our nervous system. Scientific studies have proven that when we consciously release our worries, the production of stress hormones decreases and the process of cell regeneration during sleep is stimulated. Pope Leo XIII makes an important distinction. To surrender does not mean to abandon. Trust is not irresponsibility or passivity, but on the contrary, a humble recognition of the limits of our control and a connection to a wisdom that surpasses our own. We remain responsible for our daily actions, but we acknowledge that night is the time to let go of everything that is beyond our control. Regular practice of such trust cultivates an inner strength within us, which manifests as composure and calmness in the face of life's storms. People who cultivate this nightly surrender of worries report a reduction in anxiety symptoms and an increased ability to remain calm in difficult situations. The 3 pillars of spiritual life proposed by Pope Leo XIV, gratitude, forgiveness, and trust, form an effective evening ritual capable of radically transforming not only our nights, but our entire existence. These principles appear simple on the surface, but possess immense transformative power. As becomes clear, it is not about complex ceremonies or lengthy prayers, but about an intimate dialogue with the Almighty, taking only a few moments before sleep, yet impacting all waking hours. Pope Leo XIII persistently urges us not to postpone these spiritual exercises, seeing in this not a grim warning, but a sincere invitation to attain spiritual harmony. Often, people tend to delay what could immediately bring peace, naively believing that there will always be time for spiritual improvement. However, each evening presents a unique opportunity that should not be missed. It is important to remember that gratitude establishes a connection with the blessings bestowed. Forgiveness frees the soul from unnecessary burdens, and trust allows for genuine rest by entrusting one's worries into the hands of providence. Collectively, these practices create a sacred space where true peace can be found amidst the hustle and bustle of the modern world. The author encourages the reader to begin these practices today. There is no need to wait for the right moment or ideal conditions. The appeal of these spiritual exercises lies in their simplicity and accessibility. All that is required is a few moments of quiet before closing your eyes.